Hallojis, my name is Ravi Ray, and in this video, I'm going to tell you why your DAW is running slow and show you 2 simple ways on how you can fix it. All right, so let's start by providing a little bit of context. We about to go into computer nerd talk. I promise it won't be that bad. How fast your computer operates is largely determined by 2 parts. First, the RAM, aka random access memory, is kind of like a workbench. The bigger it is, the more things your computer can do at any given moment. Second is the CPU, aka the processor, which is kind of like manpower. Having a more powerful processor allows your computer to complete tasks faster. So what does all of this have to do with music? When you're working on a track in your DAW, your computer has to process everything that's going on in one moment and convert it from the digital realm, which is ones and zeros, to the analog realm, which is the sound that you actually hear. If your computer is overloaded with tasks, your plugins could introduce clicks and pops into your audio or even crash your DAW altogether. Obviously, going to the store and buying a hardware upgrade for your CPU or your RAM is an easy way to fix this, but to me, it's kind of a cop-out. Here are 2 simple ways that you can speed up your system right now from inside your DAW without having to buy anything. 1. Bounce all of your virtual instruments to audio as soon as you can. VI plugins or virtual instrument plugins are huge processor hogs. And one of the very first tracks I worked on, I used a virtual piano called the Grandeur. It sounded beautiful, but I was on a PC at the time that couldn't handle it, so it introduced all of these weird clicks and pops into my audio, and it took me weeks to figure out why it was happening. Let's walk through how to do this in Pro Tools. It's really easy. On your VI track, right-click the plugin and select Commit up to this insert. In the pop-up menu that appears, decide what you want to do with the original track. Here, I'm going to hide and deactivate it. This will render out the music in the track to audio. Alternatively, you can use the freeze button. This temporarily renders the track to audio and disables the plugin. Use this if you're still working on musical ideas and you want to easily be able to come back to the MIDI. 2. Increase your hardware buffer size to the max allowable value. Hardware buffer size is the number of samples which corresponds to time that it takes your computer to process any audio signal. The bigger it is, the more time you give your computer to think as it converts between digital and analog. When you're mixing or mastering, increasing the hardware buffer size lowers the processing load on your PC. Let's walk through how to do this in Pro Tools. Here, we'll go to the Setup menu, click Playback Engine, and here's the hardware buffer size. The max allowable value for my interface is 1024 samples, so we'll click that and hit OK. Be aware though that this imparts a small time delay between your DAW and your headphones. Thus, when you're recording, it's actually better to use a smaller buffer size. So to quickly recap, hardware buffer size as large as possible when mixing and mastering and as small as possible when recording. What are your thoughts? Have you ever had issues with this sort of thing? Let me know in the comments below. If you learned something from this video, consider dropping a like or hitting the sub button. And until the next one, stay well and shine bright.